Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink, and welcome back to Doomlink's Life Hunts, but not welcome back to the game that we're playing. So in other words, I was saying welcome back not to this, but rather the series. This is the first time I'm recording For Ultimate live. I've done a number of For Ultimate recordings, specifically in the Random Hunt series, which is the non-live version of this particular live stream series that I'm doing, and I've also done standalone videos for it. One of my most viewed videos is actually a video entitled Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate on Citra, ellipsis, finally. And that was the first time I had actually recorded For Ultimate in general. That was early 2019, as I recall. So here we are, finally in For Ultimate. Now, the question may arise as to why it took this long. The simple answer is that I never really wanted to do PC recordings, particularly not For Ultimate. I mean, I was willing to do the PSP stuff, because recording For Ultimate has always been so problematic. But I recently got my act together and decided to get this working in a reliable and consistent fashion. And that required a little bit of work with the emulator. So, for example, I'm not recording at 60 FPS right now. All of my objectives when it came to For Ultimate and recording it were based on For Ultimate running at 60 FPS, but I stopped and realized, well, it's not going to work because this emulator is too volatile to handle 60 FPS smoothly and consistently. It can sort of do it when I'm not recording, but if I am recording, it just won't work. So what's my solution? The solution is to run it at the same frame rate as every other Monster Hunter game that I record. So that's what we're going to do. And I hope everything will look fine and run fine. My guess is that it will. I'm going to get in contact with this guy. We are waiting for a third person. And it's been really, really fortuitous for me that he had to wait for this person, because it gave me the time to set up this recording. I don't have all that much time available to me today. My intention is always to do about 2 hours for a live stream. I've got about 2 hours available to me today. So, yeah, I'm glad that I was able to immediately set up this recording while waiting for this guy to get his friend here. So, why is that non-cropped? What's happened? You see how it's showing the whole Discord window in the back? Why is that? Oh. What have I done? Because I added a few... That's very unusual. I'm supposed to be showing the Discord window with window capture 2. So window capture 2 would need to be... Oh. It's extremely odd that that's no longer cropped. Oh, Discord capture, that's what I use, yeah. Sorry, I was using the wrong window capture thing. Here we go. That's what we want. Unfortunately, someone here is asking how to set up multiplayer. Try the support channel. But yeah, we're here to hunt, not to support this guy in getting online. It's not that we don't want to be helpful for him, it's just not appropriate at this time. Now, I have a screen set up here that's a little bit strange. As I'm sure you're aware, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate has 2 screens. Where's the second screen, you ask? Well, it's over here. And there's no real seamless way for me to switch between these two things. This is still a work in progress. Right? In fact, this capture here can probably... It's a little quiet. Perfectly centered. Can you please just... You, as in you. Yes, you. I wish I could explain to you how messy OBS can be sometimes. That's probably a little better. But yeah, you can see this is quite ugly. This is not appropriate at all. My first thought was to do the whole live stream like this, and then I realized, no, that is so bad, especially because the bottom screen isn't all that necessary to be visible during hunts. So I'll just have it like this when I'm in the hall. You can see that it is necessary to interact with the bottom screen like so. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but I'm using my mouse to click here, basically. This is my character. And yeah. I think we can probably keep this up for... well, perhaps we won't. I'll do this. And yeah, I might post. I don't know why he's so insistent on me posting. There are definitely things that I need to do in this game, but I haven't really organized my objectives yet. Now, here's another example of a situation where I actually need to be showing the bottom screen. You can see that I'm making my quest selections here on the bottom screen. So this is more or less my only option. I have to show you the game in this very awkward way. As far as what I'd like to do, what would be appropriate for two-man? Probably just let's do Shard Alamadur. How about a Tigrex? That'd be nice. Brute Tigrex. I'll let him know. I don't know if he is able to change equipment appropriately, but I'll tell him. I just feel like he'd be a nice hunt to do for our first hunt, you know? Just getting that feeling. Is that feline dressed as Sonic? He sure is. He sure is. Okay. Now, I need to... this is going to be a little bit problematic because I actually need to interact with the emulator with my mouse, like clicking on the application, which actually minimizes the chat that I usually keep up. That chat being the Twitch chat, so it's a little bit more for me to juggle than usual, but whatever. For Brute Tigrex, I don't think I have a water gun lance. Now that I'm actually in for Ultimate, I can take some time to actually talk with you guys. Oh, this isn't fully upgraded though, is it? It might be. I'll have to check. But yeah, this is an opportunity for me to actually talk about what my character's situation is here in For Ultimate. I've talked about it briefly in other recordings, but because those recordings were not... oh god. Because those recordings were not actually taking place in For Ultimate like it is, or like this current recording is, I didn't really go into it in depth. But here I can. But I'll probably wait until more people join before getting into all that stuff. What am I in need of for the Stouthorn? Argon Stouthorn. Also, if it seems like I just got out of bed, it's because I did just get out of bed. What the hell's going on? Argon Stouthorn. I've had to check this every single time I've come online in this game, because every time I come online in this game it's been months, and I'm like, how do I make the Argon Stouthorn again? You have to trade materials for it, but... oh god. It might be in this list and I'm just totally blind. You can see you can even trade for Yamatsukami stuff in this game. Yamatsukami, Lunastra. A lot of monsters are available here. I don't know what's going on. And I can't begin to explain what the hell the Argon Stouthorn is, so I suppose I won't use this gun lance. It would probably work fine, but... yeah, I'm not going to use it right now. Hey, Wonderlord. Yeah, so this is only for people in the emulator, Wonderlord. You can't interact with Nintendo servers from this emulator. If it is possible, it would be so difficult to get working, and so time-consuming that the short answer is no. You can't do that. I'm going to be focusing on weapons that I still have. You know what? Let's use bow. Sounds like a plan. I think I'd enjoy using bow. Hopefully it's not getting too bright outside. If it is, then I'll make lighting adjustments. Again, you adjust the lighting for a certain lighting scenario and then it completely changes and it's very frustrating. Yeah, so my guild card here, which sadly is not visible because it's on the bloody bottom screen. And it's probably quite small down there, but lance, gun lance, charge bleed, and bow are the weapons that I want to be using here. So let's use bow, because I don't have many uses with the bow weapon type here in this game. The reason why, and it's a funny story that I've told before, but now that I'm in 4 Ultimate it feels like an even more topical discussion than usual, or a more topical point to cover than usual. When this game came out, I realized that it was R to shoot the bow, and I was not impressed with this at all. I was actually totally incensed by that change, to the point where I completely boycotted bow. I refused to use it, and I was very displeased. And then when I played Generations Ultimate all those years later, I realized that I could actually change to a different attack type. It was like on type 2 by default, which was R to shoot, and I thought, well shit, I wonder if I can do the same in 4 Ultimate, and lo and behold, yeah, I was able to just select a different arrow shot type, or a different method of shooting arrows off, so that's what I did. I went and changed that. Is it in G2? I think it's in G2. Yeah. So that was a funny moment, you know. A strange moment too. Alright, I need to do a little bit of inventory management here. And I will keep the bottom screen visible for the moment. Oh, it's good to be playing for Ultimate Wonderlord, I can tell you now. It's been so long since I wanted to do this live, but just haven't been able to do it properly. But the time has come for me to actually do that. Damn it, my chat is slightly covering that. So you can see that all the food options here are on the bottom screen, so I have to show the bottom screen. That's assuming I'm still showing it. Am I still showing it? I'm not. Quite rightly, I am very quick to return to the top screen only view. At the moment I'm just selecting these two. Just go with Lucky Cat and Heroics. I'm not actually going to use Heroics, as I'm sure you can appreciate. I wish there could be a better transition than the entire screen going black for a moment. But whatever. Let's see what coatings I can use for this bow. Okay. Close range only at this stage. Unless I wanted to shoot exhaust as well, but I generally don't bother with exhaust. The thing with exhaustion is that it's going to override whatever element or status you've got on your bow already. And sometimes it's just not worth it. In my opinion, it's not worth it for 2 hunters. Maybe for 4 hunters, where 4 people taking advantage of an exhausted monster would be quite beneficial, but for 2 hunters I just wouldn't do it. I'm losing too much damage in doing that. So this is my spread bow set. It's pretty damn good. Definitely a step up from the standard of what you'd expect in a game like Portable 3rd, or, you know, 2nd gen and 1st gen. This was the first game, in fact, of all the mainline games. You can get better sets here than in any other game. They tried to, how do I say, balance things out for Generations and Generations Ultimate, because the Hunter was a little bit too strong armor skills wise here. So, there you go. As you can see, the heads-up display is pretty damn ugly. I draw my eyes to the clock in particular. Very unpleasant to look at. It just looks like this mess on the screen. But that's this game. One thing that I really like is the arrow impact effect that you can expect in this game. I don't know what I was attempting to do there. I am fighting a Tyrex, so if I could be a little bit more careful with what I'm doing, that would be awesome. Now, I believe this bow uses Power Shot. The interesting thing with Power Shot in this game, keeping in mind that this is where Power Shot first appeared, is that it is either Arc Shot or Power Shot. And Power Shot is not an innate capability of the bow weapon type, as was probably well established by what I just said. It's a choice of either Arc Shot or Power Shot, so only certain bows have Power Shot. This one does. As far as whether or not there is a skill that increases the damage of Power Shot in this game, I'm not entirely sure, because I'm a novice when it comes to the use of bow in 4 Ultimate specifically, because again, I was actually boycotting it until Generations Ultimate came out. And I've been playing on this character since, I don't know, early 2015 or something. So, or 2014 it would have been. So, yeah, long story short, definitely not 2015. Although I did get this game a number of months after it came out, because I was not wanting to deal with 3DS Monster Hunter. Yeah, it does look really good, doesn't it? I mean, this is really nice. Visually speaking, this should look better than Generations Ultimate does, honestly. There are some modifications that can be made visually to this, by the way. It can actually look better. That's using the HD mods that exist. Now, this is 4 Ultimate. I cannot attack this monster, otherwise I will risk, not just risk, but almost certainly, cause a Kaikla to fail the mount, and we don't want that. You can see that there is no visible progress bar for the hunter who is not mounting, or I guess for the team would be the more clear way to say that. Currently got Challenger +2 in effect. I was talking about something before, can't remember what it was now. But yeah, I think I was saying that I was boycotting bow until Generations Ultimate came out, and I had obviously played this game for quite some time before Generations Ultimate released. About 4 years, I'd say. So, well, that's not quite true, because I wasn't playing this game in the years 2017 and 2018. Just wasn't. Because I was so unwilling to continue my 3DS Monster Hunter experience. And again, I didn't get this game when it immediately came out, because I was so opposed to 3DS Monster Hunter as a concept, and then, you know, I eventually bit the bullet because there were certain monsters in this game that I really wanted to hunt. You know, the monster that actually did it for me, and this might sound pretty silly, was Darren Moran. Because I have such a soft spot for Gen Moran, and then I saw Darren Moran, and I was like, God, I just have to get this game. For some people it's, you know, Dalamadur, or something like that, maybe Gog Marzios, but for me, it was Darren Moran. So I really wanted to find him, and so here we are. I was able to put a decent amount of time into this game, despite all the frustrations of 3DS Monster Hunter. Some people just didn't care at all. Some people played Monster Hunter on the 3DS and were totally comfortable with the experience. I, on the other hand, having, you know, played a lot of stationary console Monster Hunter up until that point, I didn't start with a stationary console Monster Hunter game. I started with Freedom Unite on the PSP, but, you know, I had become quite spoiled by games like Tri and 3 Ultimate. So I was not at all comfortable while playing this game when it came out. And again, I was able to put a good amount of time into this, but when Generations came out on the 3DS, keeping in mind the Switch didn't exist yet, I was totally unable to invest in another 3DS game. I was just like, I cannot do this anymore, I'm done. So I played Generations for the first week of its release, and then didn't touch it ever again. Didn't even launch the game until Generations Ultimate was announced. Because of the announcement of Generations Ultimate, I knew that whatever I did in Generations would carry over into Generations Ultimate, so I was able to comfortably play Generations at that time, knowing that I would be working towards whatever my Generations Ultimate objectives were, but before that game even came out. So that was the situation there. Hello, Potato. Lighting is okay for the moment. It's still a little brighter than I would like it to be, but we'll see. Maybe I can make an adjustment after this. Take it easy, man. But yeah, the main point that I'm trying to make here is that even before I had played 3DS Monster Hunter, I didn't want to do it. And then after I'd played it, I really didn't want to do it. That's why I'm emulating here, you know. And I'm glad that I'm emulating. I'm glad that my save isn't stuck on that system anymore. There's something about having a save on a Nintendo system that you can't really access. It doesn't feel safe there. I don't know why. But fortunately I can access it, and it is now on this this PC. And it is worth mentioning, because maybe it's not obvious, but this character was my original character in this game. The one that I made around the time this game came out on the 3DS, and I ported it over to PC. I don't think I ever would have gotten to Hunter Rank 500 with just the Citra community. Some people have done it, absolutely, but I haven't played with the Citra community enough to have managed that. I think I've gone up maybe 15 Hunter Ranks. No, actually I think I was high 400s when I carried my save over, so yeah, maybe it's been more like 40 Hunter Ranks or 50 Hunter Ranks that I've gone up since playing with the Citra community, so I mean, that's something. I think I'm currently Hunter Rank 530 something. What's going on? Of course, this is not a nice place to be using a bow because of the crazy inclines and declines. Oh, fuck. Did you see that turn? That was nuts. Again, we are expecting a third person, but I don't know where he is. There was a plan for Kaikla to play with a friend, and it seems like the friend has gone, you know, AWOL, as they say. Absent without leave, and now it's just me and him. But that friend might come soon. That was a 180-degree turn. Fuck you, fucking Tyrex. Tyrex. If you've noticed, I'm trying to get in the habit of saying Tigrex now, which I've always wanted to be in the habit of saying, but I haven't been in the habit of saying it, so I'm making a very belated attempt to fix my pronunciation. This is not the neglected child of the Monster Hunter series, that's Monster Hunter DOS. A lot of people played this game, and a lot of people love this game. There is nothing neglected about 4 Ultimate at all. You could, however, say that this is the neglected child of my video series in Monster Hunter, because I almost never record this. Despite the fact that I very much enjoy it. But that's coming to an end now. I'm going to be playing this a lot, going forward. As long as I can get into reliable groups, that is. See, my concern is that this monster is giving me so few opportunities to get a full combo out, and what a full combo is in this case would be, you know, inclusive of a power shot. You can see the relationship between latent power and challenger here. In a lot of cases, my latent power will proc while not enraged, and then of course Challenger +2 will take over when the monster enters rage mode. The point is that latent power and Challenger +2 can't be activated at the same time. They don't stack in that way. Never have, never will. But presumably. But yeah. Yes, that is Sonic the Hedgehog. He's helping us out. He's been promised a chili dog later. I wouldn't use the word oppressive necessarily, but Charge Blade and Insect Glaive are problematic. Look, this is the funny thing, there's nothing wrong with Insect Glaive. What's wrong is the mounting system of this game and how easy it is to get a mount off. The reason why it's so easy to get a mount off in 4 Ultimate is because they wanted to showcase the new system. They wanted everyone to be mounting the monsters all the time because they were so impressed with it that they decided to make it totally imbalanced. That's what it means to be Capcom. Extremely short-sighted and downright demented when it comes to game design, because they're so tunnel-visioned by way of personal self-congratulatory crap with their new implementations that they just want to totally throw the game out of balance to occupy everyone's attention with that new design. That's Capcom in a nutshell. Or maybe it wasn't so brief. But seriously. That is the reason why Insect Glaive has a problem. It's because it is a weapon where you can very easily mount. And rapidly mount. But it's so easy to get mounts off in this game that you're constantly mounting the monster by using that. As far as Charge Blade in this game, it's pretty good. I believe that, in fact I'm certain that of all the 4th gen games, it is best here. For some reason Charge Blade is glitched in Generations and Generations Ultimate. I'm assuming that it is the same for Generations as it is for Generations Ultimate. I never touched Charge Blade in Generations. But it relates specifically to the AED. The AED was bugged down in Generations Ultimate. It's perfectly fine here and operates as normal. Okay, I'm in trouble. And he chooses to go for me. I realised that you saw that I was in danger, but yeah, there's not much I could have done there. So basically the AED in Generations Ultimate will only deal 1 file's worth of damage. That's the reason why it's such a small visual effect. You'll notice, like, if you compare the AED effect from 4 Ultimate and World to Generations Ultimate, it's this tiny little thing that has, like, there's almost no satisfaction to be had at all in that tiny little explosion. It's tiny because it's literally 1 file. No matter how many files you have, it's just the one. So that's what's going on. And I don't know why that happened. It couldn't have been intentional, surely. But sometimes Capcom do such nutty things that maybe it was intentional. I don't know. But that, ladies and gentlemen, oh, Tyrex Mantle. Remember when I said that every time I hunt a Tigrex, I get his mantle? Well, even in 4 Ultimate, that's the case, apparently. For goodness sake, look at this. I don't know how many I have in this game, but this is my lucky monster. I seem to always get his rare stuff. Subspecies or otherwise. Thank you. He's using the Anat set, which has a skill called Bounty Hunter on it, I believe. It's an alternative to whatever it's called. Luck Booster. It's not called Luck Booster here. Whatever it's called in this game. I'm thinking of Freedom Unite, you know. I can just take everything. I've got plenty of box space in this game, fortunately. I can carry 690 fucking slog bones, so I think I'll be alright. 690 slog bone. What's that for? Hunter rank 537. New hunter rank reached. Has that other guy joined now? There is a separate Citra lobby system that I'd be able to use to check, but no, he has not joined. Yeah, his friend really has gone absent without leave. Which is unfortunate. I'd like to hunt with more than one other guy. But fine. I'll let people know in the chat here that we're open to have more hunters. Now, one of the problems with the Citra online is that everything runs perfectly smoothly, and then you start to run into problems when you've got as many as 4 people in the hunt at the same time. That's when you start to get instability and people can break off. Oh, I hope the game wasn't too loud. Was the game too loud, guys? Because I didn't actually check to see if it was appropriate during that hunt. If it seemed too loud, let me know and I'll drop it back a little bit. Like if it was hard to hear me talk, then I'll drop it back. I just forgot to check. I'm appealing to someone, I don't know who. Some person who exists. I think my game has frozen, much like the whatever you call it, times I'm recording PPSSPP. Don't put away that combo book. This is one of the games where I carry combo books at all times. I don't know why I do that. For some reason I'm just able to do it here. I don't understand why. My inventory system isn't the same in every single game, basically. Seems like Kykler is still checking his rewards. If 3DS worked with the emulator, I would have joined, yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. Of course, one of the problems with the Citra community is that sometimes there aren't people available to play it. There are 2 French guys who are playing this game at the moment, but I wasn't really able to join them because they weren't very communicative. Occasionally, the halls can't be joined and a new hall has to be made. But if they aren't communicative and can't see that I'm asking them to make a new haul, then unfortunately we can't really play. So I'm with this guy, and I wanted to hunt with him because, well, I assumed that there was going to be 3 of us. But as well as that, he's actually talking, so I thought it would be more conducive to smooth and well-organized hunts. Switch to this view. Again, this is only for when I'm out of a hunt. As unpleasant as it is to look at, I know. You'll get there eventually, Makoto. Okay, annoyingly I have to minimize the chat again by clicking this. It's very frustrating. Well, I suppose Kykler can post now, so I'll leave it up to him and see what he wants to do. But yeah, as far as recording this game at 60 FPS, it's just fucking impossible because the speed of the emulator actually drops. Now, if it drops to even 95%, it's bloody noticeable and it's awful. The whole, like, the music slows down, I slow down, it's just absolute crap. So 30 FPS it is. Courtesy of a modification that can only be made with a fully updated version of the emulated game, which I had to yesterday dump from my 3DS, which was weird, because, you know, it's been almost 3 years since I dumped my stuff from my 3DS onto PC, and I'd completely forgotten how I did it, so I had to refamiliarize myself with God Mode 9 and all of that, and yeah, that was frustrating, but I managed to get the update file from my 3DS onto PC, and thanks to that I was able to set a Force 30 FPS modification to the game. Black Diablos. Why? Why do you do this to me? What would I like to use? I will use one of the broken sets of this game. This is something that you don't really see outside of For Ultimate. This here is the Values edition. What's broken about this gun is not only that you technically don't have to reload it, you can actually load individual shots by evading, much like how rolling with a Seregios weapon sharpens it slightly. It rapid fires 5 slicing shots with bonus shot. Now the relevance of that is that slicing shot was given a motion value in 4th generation. So instead of just dealing set cutting damage, it's proportionate to your attack value. So yeah, it's pretty damaging. They addressed how damaging slicing was in Generations and Generations Ultimate by making it an ammo type exclusive to internal ammunition. So yeah, the only problem that I have with slicing is that whetstones are used for its combination material, so what ends up happening is I'll do a slicing run, and then I forget to stock up on whetstones, and so I'll go into my next hunt with a Blade Master loadout without whetstones, and it's really stupid. Like, that is the worst thing. You don't realize how bad it is to walk into a hunt without whetstones until you've done it, and wow does it suck. It's not something that would normally happen, but it happens in that situation because, you know, whetstones are something that you don't always have to restock. You just check it every now and again, and it's like, oh, I'm down to 10, I'll stock up on another 10. But here, when I'm doing slicing, sometimes I just forget to check. Now the problem obviously with rapid firing 5 slicing shots is that you are stuck in place for quite a while. I don't necessarily think that the Seregios weapons are weaker in Generations Ultimate than in 4 Ultimate. It's a good question to ask, because for some reason not many people actually use Seregios weapons in 4 Ultimate. I think the reason why they don't is because it just didn't catch on. For some reason, you know, the fad died down after 4 Ultimate because it's a different community. That's what it comes down to. It's not about what's effective, it's about, you know, what's everyone else using, and then everyone just follows each other. Because no one has an original thought when it comes to their own loadouts in a Monster Hunter game. Some people do. But a lot of people just use what everyone else is using. So, yeah, I don't know why Seregios weapons aren't really used in that game. As far as I'm aware, they are just as strong. So what am I doing? I am bringing slicing shots, of which I don't think I have any. Oh, I have 10. So yeah, the point is that until Generations, you were able to just shoot slicing as a normal shot. You had full access to slicing in the shop, and you could combine for it in your inventory, using huskberries and whetstones, I believe. I should have normal level 2 here. This is more of a normal set, as you can tell. There's no slicing up. So this is really here in the event that I run out of slicing for my hunt, but yeah. I think we're good to go. Haven't missed anything, have I? Let's just make sure it is huskberries. It should be. Yes. Okay. And hello, spaceman. Oh, goodness me. Feels very strange to be doing a proper recording in 4 Ultimate, you know. That's what I like about verticality in this game. Mid-air reloading. Okay. Black Diablos, I'm gonna head this way. Unless he's... well, he might not be here, we'll see. He is here. See, I was thinking more of 1st gen, because this map that we're in right now is actually a remastered version of the original desert from 1st gen. Now, in 1st generation you'd be more likely to find Diablos up in that area over there. But things are a little bit different here. See if I can get this, well... as you can see, like, I'm stuck in place for quite some time. It's very good damage-wise for hurting the monster, but as far as being at risk yourself, it is a little bit risky. If you just saw, I was able to actually reload that shot just by rolling. Managed to get most of that on. Oops. So it's all about finding the opportunity that you can take to shoot this many shots all in one go without taking a hit from the monster. What are you doing going that way? Holy shit. You completely overpowered me in that moment, I have to tell you. He was actually too smart for me there. I did see, Wonderlord, that you asked a question about Seregios before, but I did miss it and forgot to respond to it. If you can forgive me. Hopefully it was that very question. Oh. Going straight in the sand. And he does the run to catch you, so you dive out of the way of his dive and then get hit by the run. That's the second time that's fucked me, because I'm not used to that at all. It's been so long since I've played 4 Ultimate that attacks like those that are basically specific to 4 Ultimate I've just forgotten about, so... Okay, you're not doing your run this time. Obviously my target is the chest, but it's difficult to hit that with rapid fire, especially when you're shooting as many as 5 shots. Oh, come on. I feel like I can blame the tree for that. I don't know why. There's something about that tree. Didn't like it. I can shoot from this distance. You have way too much range with that roar. That needs to stop. I was just attacked by Doomlink over there. Honestly, rapid fire slicing like this is better with a larger group. Which makes it even more powerful. You can hear the slicing shots actually hitting the monster under the sand. Hey, autonomic. Please flinch, please flinch, please flinch. Sometimes you have to be really aggressive with this style of play and just hope that the monster's going to flinch, for example. It deals a lot of damage, but it can be challenging, that's the point. It's very nice of you to present yourself to me in this way. Got a flinch there, which is good. Just going to confirm that everything looks fine, yep. Just making sure that I didn't accidentally keep the bottom screen visible or anything like that. Because that looks crap, especially during hunts. I may as well, while I'm here in the area without the monster, combine 4 more slicing shots. Keep forgetting that I can just hold the button down here. You're not playing first gen Doomlink. It's okay. I don't like fighting Diablos in this area, it just doesn't feel like there's enough space to fight him properly. Or her in this game. Oh no, that's not good at all. That's really bad. He might fail the mount. I'm sorry for that. Do I have a shout for that? Sorry about that. Fuck. It's because, unfortunately, during that mount, all of the slicing was going off on a delay. So, yeah, that was quite unfortunate. He had been working for that mount, I think. Well, he couldn't have worked for that long, because it's not that hard to mount in this game, but still. Yeah, so that's an example of why you don't attack the monster during a mount. It's because you will cause the mount to fail. It was a balancing decision that was made quite sensibly by Capcom, which they removed for some reason. They made it so that not only is the monster stuck in place being mounted, but you can attack the monster and deal full damage whilst assisting in the mount. Now technically, the monster being stuck in place doesn't mean anything because they do swing their body around and hit you if you get close, but what if you're a gunner? You know, there's just no consideration given to... Oh dear. It hurts to see him miss that. Fuck. I like how the tail still hits me though. That's unbelievable. I do not like Diablos. Never have, never will. Some people like him, not me. I admit that he's well designed, but no. That doesn't mean that I'm going to enjoy the hunt. trying to keep away here. Yeah, attack the cat. That's helpful. He's got a lot of running room in this area, but unfortunately ends up going a bit too far sometimes. You can see that depending on the timing of when you do a mid-air reload, it can either prevent you from rolling when you hit the ground, or not. So the sooner you reload mid-air, the better. Flinch, please. I wasn't necessarily at risk there. And we're back. Unfortunately, the stream went down because my internet went down very briefly. It's extremely frustrating when that happens. There is nothing I can do about it. Usually once per day, maybe once every 2 days, my internet will go down very briefly. It is enough to stop a live stream and have everything come to a grinding halt. That is basically what has happened here. I now have to reconnect to the Citrus server, and I'll have to remake the hall. Now I can show you, well, I would have to actually go to the smaller screen. This is how you actually connect through Citra. You don't go to online multiplayer. If you go to online multiplayer, you will not be able to connect to the Nintendo servers, and therefore you'll be stuck on an infinite loading screen, so don't do that. It's bad. So you can see that this person still has their room here on a quest. In the quest that we were just doing, we don't want to actually join that room because that is a glitched hall. I want to create a new hall and now wait patiently for that person to return. I really don't want to have to do that quest again, but he might insist on doing that given that we had a disconnect take place during that hunt. My hope was that he had disconnected. Something far worse happened actually. I disconnected and my stream went down, so yeah, again there's almost nothing I can do about it, frustratingly, but yeah, that's how it is. Sometimes you just have to sit back and deal with it. I shouldn't have saved after that hunt because now I have... Actually, no. Oh, it was an abandon, that's why it's fine to save after the hunt. God. Yeah, it is very frustrating when that happens. It's more problematic for Citra in particular because I can't just, you know, go and find some other random hunt, like I can in Generations Ultimate, for example. I actually have to wait for him to either attempt to solo it or come back and try to rejoin with me. He's probably thinking the monster's not too far from death, and it could very well be the case that the monster is pretty close to maybe limping and then he can go for the capture. My hope is that if he does seek to do that, that he's successful in getting that done sometime soon, because at the moment, I'm going to be stuck here waiting for him, so... I don't want to have to do that. Because I am live and like, let's say for example, I have a long period of downtime in a live stream. I like to make up for that by recording for longer than I normally would. But I have 2 hours. I have 2 hours and no more than that. I have a lot more time this week than normal, I will say. But not today. This is the one day in the week where I don't have as much time, but I was so eager to play 4 Ultimate that I thought, well, I have to do it. It had to be done. Just making sure everything's fine with the live stream right now. All should be well. Yeah. Looks alright to me. In the meantime, I suppose I can look around Valhalla. I can even consider what I could make next. There's a few... Okay, so one thing that I did want to talk about when it comes to 4 Ultimate is that I don't like the guild quest system at all. I fucking hate it. I have always hated it. Not necessarily the concept of it. I think that's fine. But the fact that in practice, you choose to grind for random weapons rather than make your own to use as a basis causes one such as myself, who is actually, you know, quite a long way through the game, to not have as many weapons on hand as one would like. So I don't have all elements for all weapon types here. In fact, for some weapon types I've got like 2 or 3 elements instead of the 5. And that's really frustrating for me. Because normally, like if it weren't for the guild quest system, I would have that. And that wouldn't be an issue, but regrettably, because I've been doing guild quests hoping for a really good relic for that element and weapon type, I haven't made the basic weapon that, you know, you can forge normally through a monster, and quite frankly I prefer forging weapons based on, you know, monster materials and being comfortable in knowing that I have a solid endgame weapon, but it's not that way here. Here, you don't have a really solid endgame weapon, at least not one that's appropriate for level 140 guild quests, until you've basically struck gold in some random pool of weapons that may or may not appear. It's just stupid. It's basically taking the talisman system, which was already flawed, but just, you know, we put up with it because we couldn't think of a sensible solution. And then they add it to the weapon system, which was perfectly fine before. So you've got a random number generator for fucking both of those things. And it's just terrible. I don't really want to get into it further than that because I will start to rant. But, my god. The result is that I am in need of many, many weapons, despite the fact... I mean, it looks like I have a lot of weapons in this game, and I do, but there's a lot of junk in here. There's a lot of junk in here. And a lot of unpolished stuff. So, yeah. It's probably thanks to the guild quest that I got my hunter rank this high, but I don't want to do them anymore. As I hunt with people and as I record for Ultimate in this series, you will see that there are some people who want to do guild quests. I don't want to do that. If that's what they post, then I'll essentially be forced to do it with them, because I am in a minority among the endgame players. It's quite unusual that one would not want to do guild quests here, because that's the endgame, and I'm an endgame player. So it's not quite the same as deviant monsters in Generations Ultimate. In Generations Ultimate, like, your endgame, your effectiveness as a hunter is not stunted by refusing to hunt deviant monsters. In this game, if you refuse to do guild quests, your growth as a hunter is stunted, especially comparatively speaking. So fortunately Kaikla was able to finish that quest up on his own. Umbrix has decided to send an emote of Pepe the Frog urinating in a toilet. I don't know what this is about. It's called Pepe P, okay. He is G3 level. I'll ask him if he wants to hunt. I can't really say that Pepe the Frog with arse in full view urinating into a toilet is the best expression of interest. He says can't at the moment, maybe later. Well, as you do. As far as what we do next, I suppose it's up to me, is it? Well, my concern is that I don't know how to get Argent Stout Horns. I feel like I'd like to upgrade that gun lance. Bloody hell. This is Doomlink's live hunt, so I shouldn't be, you know, finding an actual objective, but as long as I'm not grinding monsters, it's fine. Argent Stout Horn. I swear it's here, or maybe I'd worked out that it's a... Maybe it's a normal fucking drop from a monster in this game. I don't know what it would be, though. Argon Stout. Oh, I won't worry about it. Is there anything else that I need to upgrade here? Let's have a look. So, that I have no intention of upgrading. This I have every intention of upgrading. So let's do Azure Rathalos. That's great. I'll let him know. Can you believe that I actually don't have... No, maybe I do have a Dragon Greatsword that I'm happy with. Maybe this is an Awakened Dragon Greatsword or something. I'll check in a moment. Okay. So what is this? This is... Excuse me, this is... I am used to the Azure Rathalos Greatsword being a dragon weapon, first and foremost. Second of all, it's not dragon, it's fire. Thirdly, it is actually an Awakened Fire Greatsword, so that's fine. I am actually in the process of making Awakened weapons in tandem with regular elemental weapons, which is a little bit messy and probably not the best way to approach things, but I'm doing that anyway. Apparently I'm wanting to make this. Dalamadur Talon is required. I'm sure you guys would appreciate a bit of Dalamadur on camera. I need to make this. Yeah, can you believe I don't have an Ice Sword and Shield in this game? How sad is that? This is just... There are some weapons that I made in high rank that I have no intention of upgrading further. This would be an example of that. It achieved something at the time. It seems that I want to upgrade this too. I apparently don't have Thunder Dual Blades. I do have Thunder and Dragon in like a single pair of Dual Blades, but I want just Thunder Dual Blades on their own. I don't know about these. I don't know if I'm wanting to make those. No, I've already got Agnaktor Inferno, and these are very good, so I don't want to make those after all. How about this? Maybe I'd rather make these for my Thunder Dual Blades. So I guess I won't make this. Okay. This is the problem when you have spent so much time away from this game, you don't know what you would last doing. There's a lot of confusion there. If I could have a little text file updating my future self, that would be great. It would make a lot more sense to do that. What would I like to use? I don't necessarily have to use a weapon that I need uses in. You know, I'd go Charge Blade, but I need to properly organize my Charge Blade situation in this game. I didn't really use Charge Blade in this game. The only Charge Blade I have, I think, or at least one of my only ones, is actually the Gold Raytheon one. Let's have a look and see what's going on here. Charge Blade. So that's the one I've been using. I can make this, and that's Impact File, so maybe I could use that. How about we use that? I'm pretty sure that I have a very recently made Charge Blade set. Where the fuck is it? I know that I made one. I quite embarrassingly turned up into a hall with artillery, the skill, but I was using an element file switch axe, or Charge Blade rather. Where is the damn thing? Maybe I used this. Admittedly, this is perfectly appropriate for Charge Blade. So I guess I'll use this. Weird as it is. I'm assuming that in this game, that's another issue with Generations Ultimate. In Generations Ultimate, there's really no reason to get Artillery Expert because the increase in your damage with the impact file is just so pathetic that it's a waste of time. My hope is that it's a little bit better here. I couldn't say for sure, but yeah. Well, it's getting very bright outside. Azure Rathlos. G2, I am assuming? Yes, indeed. Just the standard Azure should do. Obviously, cutting the tail is a high priority. Exchanger again. I think I got Exchanger last time, but was unable to complete the hunt, so... Hello, Tech. But yeah, I think I can probably make a different set to this. One of the things that makes this game a game where you are almost the strongest hunter skills-wise is how easy you can get honed blade. So that's attack up extra large and sharpness +1, as well as artillery god, critical eye +1 and speed sharpening. So that's pretty nuts. Very strong, this particular armor set, and there are lots of sets like that. I have some ridiculous armor sets in this game. Really strong ones. Maybe not ridiculous by this game's standards. Probably more like just very good for this game's standards, but by the standards of other Monster Hunter games, just out of this world. Stellar, as they say. Alright. As far as why I have a sleep charge blade here, it's... yes, Sonic Cat. That is correct. I think you're the third person to comment on that at this point. Starting to get annoyed by the brightness outside, but whatever. What am I doing with myself? Keeping the chat up and resuming. Yeah, the reason why I have this charge blade is because I wanted to make charge blades, and then I checked to see what ones I wanted to make, and then I checked to see what ones I could make based on what I wanted to make, and this was one of those weapons that I could make fairly easily, so I think I just made this outright. Happen to have the materials already. It's fine, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a fairly good weapon. What I might do, I mean, I've just been poisoned by this rather inconsiderate ear prey, but I'm going to make an adjustment to my lighting. I'll be just one moment. Should be a little better now. That seems more appropriate. Uh-oh. I feel bad for this guy. I forced him to solo the monster for a moment and he's about to die. It's just Azure Rathlos. I wouldn't have done this with a really difficult monster, but you know. Sometimes difficulty means nothing. Sometimes soloing a monster can put you in a nasty situation no matter what. Okay. Let's return to the fight. Well, not even return to the fight, more like actually involve myself in the fight for the first time. Okay, Charge Blade in 4 Ultimate is going to be really weird, because I don't use Charge Blade in 4 Ultimate. I know I have as many as 80 uses with the weapon type in this game. I have absolutely no recollection of having used Charge Blade that much. Again, you have to understand, I had one Charge Blade, and that was a Fire Charge Blade, so I guess I was learning to use Charge Blade by waiting for a monster that had a weakness to fire to appear. and then I would use Charge Blade in that situation. I can't really think of what monsters I would have fought with that. But yeah. Notice how quiet my controller is. DualShock 3, everyone. Tried and true. I'm happy to drop a trap if it feels like that's necessary for cutting the tail, but... probably... Oh, we're both using the same weapon. That's pretty funny. I should probably get my charge up first. It's just I'm a bit worried about killing the thing before we cut the tail. I probably shouldn't worry too much about that. But yeah. Ow. I had better heal up. I'm struggling with the basics right now. Let's just go and give ourselves... Hold on, what am I doing? Oh, that's right. I can't achieve red shield without my files loaded. If you have an AED, that'd be awesome. Okay, we'll just bomb. That's appropriate. Oh no! I don't... Did he just wake up normally? I don't know if he woke up normally or what. I'm playing very poorly right now. I'm so out of practice with Charge Blade, it's shocking. At least this mount will be an opportunity to attack the tail. But yeah, I usually rely on my ability to do things subconsciously, but for some reason, Charge Blade plus 4 ultimate equals pure confusion to my subconscious mind. Okay. If I can cut this, that'd be fucking great. Come on, man. I probably won't do an AED until I'm sort of running out of red shield, which is not necessarily how you should play it here, it's just that's the habit that I'm in after having played so much Generations Ultimate Charge Blade. Oh, he's heading that way. Oh, I don't have Psycho Serums in this game. There's no easy way to get lots of Psycho Serums in 4 Ultimate. Which is extremely annoying. Extremely annoying. Because I've just become so reliant on Psycho Serums at this point. It just means that I have to be in the habit of paintballing the monsters. That's what it actually means, so... if I could do that, that'd be great. I think I know where he went. Yeah. I was quite sure that he went in this direction based on where his shadow went. But oh, fuck off, you stupid ear prey, bastard creature! God! All I want to do is paintball the thing and resume the hunt. And this asshole bites me off that little ledge, and so I'm on my hands and knees. Ugh. And then I get hit as a consequence of that. Stupid thing. Doomlink's being eaten. Oh, tail opportunity. I'd like to do an AED at some point. I'm gonna get you in a trap. I do have a shout to request for people to aim for the tail, but I don't want to be messing around. Oh, I'm going to run out of red shield. Well, in fact, I'm not even in red shield right now. Oh. We were both doing AEDs at the same time, and his interrupted mine so spectacularly that it threw me off the fucking edge. Oh my god. I don't know if he saw all of what just happened there, but that was pretty funny. That was a mess. Fuck. Don't worry, you can wake him up with that, I don't care. I can't contribute, so go for it, man. Do your AED, do it! Fuck me sideways in my ass! Okay. Trap, please, I want to cut this tail before it dies. I'm not saying that we're doing really well as a team, but... And he's leaving. Great. Don't worry, man, it's just you implemented your strategy at the worst possible time, and I thank you for that. Could not have been worse. By the way, you're not able to destroy your own traps in this game. That was first introduced in Monster Hunter Cross/Generations. So, I'm not able to place a trap anymore. Not until that one disappears. Which is, you know, fairly standard for Monster Hunter, but I just say it for the benefit of those who probably think that, or perhaps people who might be familiar with Generations and Generations Ultimate, but not so much for Ultimate, and would assume that functionality like that is just 4th gen functionality. There were lots of things that were introduced in Generations that were not in this game. And being able to destroy your own traps is one of them. I'd very much like an opportunity to attack that fucking tail. I never realised that attacking the tail of a monster was so arduous a task. But apparently it is. Because I'm only doing this for lashes. I have no fucking reason to fight an Azure Rathalos except to acquire lashes from that monster. I'm in axe mode right now so that I can have better access to the tail. Okay, that was a knockdown. Please cut the damn thing. Thank you! That's all I wanted in life. I'll get a shiny in the process, fine. Sometimes you attempt to carve a tail and then gather the shiny instead. I couldn't get a run up for a dive. You have comboed me to hell, sir. What could I have done in that situation? Absolutely nothing. I guess what I could have done was not try to carve the tail, but... that was really what I did wrong, but outside of that, I was punished so severely that I had no possible chance of survival. What a nightmare. Okay. Back to the hunt. I'm glad that he's so close to camp. At least I got the shiny. The tail's not going anywhere, but... oh, I see. You did attempt to do something. Oh, you must have been pinned down by the monster or something. Don't know why else you would have thrown it. A dung bomb. Oh. Oh, hold on. I keep forgetting to load my damn files before going into axe mode. A good Monday morning, yeah. Oh, fuck off. This Azure Rathalos sucks. In case anyone wanted an update on that. I don't like this monster. This particular one. Not Azure Rathalos the monster, but this Azure Rathalos is an asshole. Very glad that I got a lash. There's nothing more annoying than cutting a tail, because you need a tail, and then carving it and not getting a tail. There is nothing more annoying than that, because you've just carved a tail. It makes no sense that you couldn't get a tail from it. In Monster Hunter logic, it makes perfect sense, but unfortunately, in normal human logic of planet Earth and human society, it actually makes no fucking sense, and it's annoying. Just thought I'd let you know. Maybe I should have gone axe mode to give myself a bit more range. What is wrong with you? Just immediately goes for a poison claw. Leave me the fuck alone. And then he's going to come after me. Watch. I'm sure he can go down there. I think every monster is able to get through there. Whoa. Just take it easy. I will readily admit that I could have been using a better weapon here, but... well, no. Not for Charge Blade. This is about as good as it gets for my Charge Blade stuff, but... yeah. I will try to get Red Shield. Very nicely done. And I will try to do the same. If I have the time to do it. Can I get it off in time? I don't think so. No. Definitely not. I'd love to get a successful AED off. My last attempt resulted in me being thrown off the damn ledge, but... yeah. See, I don't want to do it there. I wouldn't be able to get it off in time. I might have been able to, but that's the thing. You have to wait until the right moment. There's nothing worse than failing it. Just stop. Why are you such a fucking irritant? What's wrong with you? I've never fought such a fucking annoying Rathalos before. It's unbelievable. It's like you woke up with the... oh, here we go. I was about to say, it's like you woke up with the pure intention of being the most... oh, well, this is fine. That's fine. I could have gotten it for the fucking sleep wake up, yeah. Let's do this. Oh no, he's got red shield. He probably was able to... I'm sorry. I didn't realise that you might have been able to do an AED for the wake up there. Shit. Maybe I should have checked to see what his situation was. He hadn't done it up until this point, so I didn't think that he'd do it now, but I guess it depends on what you're... oh, could you not? I didn't even intend to fall down here. I don't know what's going on with this Rathalos, but I'm so fucking infuriated by it. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I'm sick of it. Get out of my life. And if you could die, that'd be awesome. 15 minutes it's taken. Why you're not fucking dead, I couldn't even begin to understand. But you have overstayed your welcome, and here I am not charging my fucking... or not loading my files again. Because apparently that's real complicated for me. Missed every one of those attacks, which is great. Okay, he's fucking dead. Ladies and gentlemen, we can rest easy. The asshole is dead. Ugh. Awful. I hate you, Azure Rathalos. I don't know what it is about you, but you've been a really annoying monster to fight. I feel like I'm too far into the corner of my stream. Is that correct? No, this is fine. This is fine. I've lost a bit of natural light outside, so it's a little bit dark right now, but fuck me, I can't be making adjustments constantly, can I? That's not at all reasonable. I have to be careful with that. Oh. Just trying to refill my port, if you don't mind. First recording of For Ultimate, ladies and gentlemen. It's up and down. Can I get a lash in the rewards, please? That would be my last one. If I'm seeing lashes here, wing and wing, okay. I think expecting a lash in the rewards was a little bit overzealous, but... I nearly shat, I thought I just got one there. Okay, normal up +6, free element +6. That's not too bad, except that it's shit. So I'm not taking it. Just to throw you a curveball there. Alright. Oh, that's very nice of him. That's very nice of him. If I knew you were going for the tail, I would have focused, my bad. It's my fault for not telling you. Nice fella. I'm not sure what our next hunt is, but I'm just hoping it's not Black Diablos. If it's Black Diablos, I'll be pretty sad. Do you guys understand the significance of the fact that I'm recording for Ultimate Live right now? I've been wanting to do this for almost 3 years. Not just passively, but actively wanting to do it, but just being unable to. But here I am with my new PC setup. Everything is beyond dandy, and certainly fine. And, yeah. All is well. The only problem here is that we haven't been able to get even a third person this whole time. Which probably speaks to how difficult it will be to get a group to record this game with, but whatever. At least I was able to use a bit of Charge Blade. Again, I think this is the only Charge Blade that I really have that's not... You see, I'm going to be aiming to make impact file Charge Blades, and I probably need to try and make another set for it, but as in for the weapon type. No, I have this, but actually that would have been a better choice than than this, quite frankly, because he was already using sleep. I mean, you've got 55 affinity on this thing, I realise, but this has positive affinity, 10%, and with a whole lot more raw. I really should have used this, shouldn't I? Oh well. This isn't all that good of a Charge Blade, I have to tell you, but compared to this, I think I'll fucking go with this. Yes, this has purple sharpness, admittedly. Maybe... Look, this is better, but not that much better. Not... It's only slightly better. Because in the end, this purple sharpness would increase the damage quite a lot, and that 55% affinity is a big deal. Plus it has sleep functionality, so it's not like a complete load of garbage, this particular Charge Blade. And keeping in mind that I can raise the damage of it if I choose to hone it with further attack, but I just can't really do honing at the moment. I can do it for that, I think. But not for Rarity 9 and Rarity 10, because that requires large Zenith Wyvern Gems, I think. Of which I'm finally running low on hone. All this stuff that's highlighted in red has been honed for attack. See, if it's Rarity 10, I need a large Zenith Wyvern Gem, and I've just finally run out of them. I had quite a few, but, you know, you hone enough weapons, and it just... Especially when you need 3 of them, you just start to run out, and I have run out. But fortunately, I only... Oh, fuck. I'm almost out of regular Zenith Wyvern Gems, too. What a shame. I have to try to grind them. That's important. Got the Master Odyssey, which is an Awakened weapon, once again. As far as my Awakened weapons, my intention is to make an Awakened set for every individual weapon type, but I haven't really gotten around to that yet, as I'm sure you can imagine. What is our next hunt, Kykler? What's going on? He's probably checking his equipment or something. I don't know. The thing is, I don't want to be just forcing myself to use... again. Charge Blade, Lance, Gun Lance, and Bow only. But I've got a pretty good setup for Bow at the moment. Like, I've got every armor set completed, and I think I've made all of the bows that I wanted to make. Let me just check that. I do have it on a text file. I think I made every bow that I wanted to make. No, there's one more. The one bow that I haven't made is my Blast Pierce bow, which is Crimson Fatalis. I think I was in need of large Elder Dragon gems for that. But outside of that, I've made all of them. So, all elements for all arrow types, except for Blast Pierce. So that's the situation. Bow would be a great choice for me to make, it's just that I don't know if I'm really in a bow mood at the moment. the hell? I don't know what this Umbrix guy is on, but apparently this juvenile comment made by Kafina after he says, "Give me a sec," this person says, "Give me sex," and then Umbrix responds with 2 question marks, as if he hadn't already posted an emote of Pepe the Frog with arse in full view, urinating into a toilet. I don't think the immaturity of Kafina is lost on you, my friend. I really don't think so. There are things being posted in this chat that I can't even comprehend. Anyway. I'm actually quite happy. I made this set that you're seeing here. Would have been 2015 when I made this, and I'm still quite happy with it. It's actually... like, these are 3 different pieces of armor, distinctly different pieces of armor that just happen to go really well together. It's Lecturer's boots that have been colored red, and Kezu waist, actually, which matches the Rebellion Z, which is Shah d'Almadur chest piece. Matches really nicely. So I'm really happy with that look. It's fucking nice. Kaikla is taking his sweet time. Like, really taking his time. I need to raise the brightness of my room. I'm gonna do it now. I'm not even gonna take off my audio or my webcam to do it. You might appreciate an opportunity to see me awkwardly moving around on camera. I used to do it all the time, but nowadays, I don't know, I want to be professional or something. Something like that. Okay, it's just a little bit brighter. Not significantly more, but that's the thing. With all of my adjustments, a lot of them are subtle. Some of them are quite major and make a huge impact, but others are quite subtle. And this is an improvement. I'd like to think you can agree. Whenever you're ready, Kaikla. It has taken you about 10 minutes, so if you could speed it up a little bit. I can't really complain too much because I've definitely kept him waiting. Or maybe I haven't. Maybe I haven't ended up doing that, because in the end we were waiting for his friend, who apparently still is not here. I mean, how annoying is that? Poor guy. They'd obviously organised to hunt together and then his friend just fucking disappeared. Now, if his friend was, I don't know, beaten up and robbed or hit by a car or something like that, fair enough. But, well, I suppose there are other situations in which it would be appropriate for the person to disappear and ultimately be unable to play for Ultimate with his friend. But still, unless he has a reasonable excuse, he's an asshole. I've put that on the record. Bad friend. I should probably manage my inventory while I'm here. There's that lash that I needed. I need one more still. Need to get bombs out. God, I've got a lot of barrel bomb L+ in this game, don't I? Don't know why I combined for so many of them. How much space do I have in my box? What's going on with this? I've still got a full page available. A page and a half, actually. Which is actually nice to see. And there's plenty of stuff that I can cull. Plenty of stuff. Like, for example, all of these slog bones, 695 of them. Yeah. I don't think I need that many. I really don't think I need that many. What? Here we go. This guy is nothing more than a shit stirrer. And a novice one at that. Bow, light bow gun and heavy bow gun, all trash. Great sword is for soft brain hunters. Insect glaive is garbage, that is to say. G-rank Joe that's not savage. I can have a look. The amount of downtime here is not great, but whatever. Devil Joe. Probably comes up as a rotating advanced quest that I actually don't have at this stage. I can check my event quests. Take the black. So I've found Bedeviled Devil Joe. There's a subspecies that exists in this game and in no other. Oroshi Kirin. But isn't it strange that G-rank Kirin, in terms of the armor in Freedom Unite, matches the coloration of this Kirin subspecies? I've never really understood that. Never understood it. I'm not seeing any Devil Joe around here. Oh! Yes. Wait, I don't want to use this setup for it. But yes, there is a frenzied Devil Joe. Hold on, I'll let him know. I'll use a lance for this. Now that I know that we're doing Devil Joe, I can actually change my fucking equipment to reflect what we're about to hunt. I'll do this nice and quickly. Lance. I recently remade this lance set. It wasn't appropriate enough for the lance weapon type. I was getting a little bit too excited about the honed blade that I had on the previous set. It was so focused on damage skills and there weren't enough guard skills on it, so I remade it. This now has guard +2, guard boost, critical eye +1, and honed blade, so, you know, still pretty good, but... Let's go and get this event quest, shall we? Come on. No, stop it. The Apex Predator. I just saw a quest underneath it called Horn to be Wild, which is apparently funny. Because it was no doubt intended to be a joke, but... yeah, it's not a funny one. Exchanger again. That's what I want. I realised that I ate that food without you being able to see what I was selecting, but... at this stage, I'd rather you just saw the top screen. I'm good to go whenever. This Kafina person is, upon first impressions, a bit of a waste of space. But anyway. I guess I don't have anything against them specifically, it's just they've yet to contribute anything of worth in the chat. Which isn't totally unusual, but... yeah. Dalamadur, I don't really want to two-man. It'll be a long hunt, and I don't have that much more time available to me. I'll be streaming for another 20 minutes, I think. And that is what we're gonna do. So probably enough time for 2 more hunts. Maybe 3, including this one, we'll see. There's been a shitload of downtime though, so if there's this much downtime before the next hunt, it'll be 1 more hunt. Whenever you're ready, mate. He's probably chatting. No, not at this stage. Well, he's about to say something. Oh, God. Here we go, they're having an argument. Whatever is going on, it's very low grade and sad. Let's hunt some Devil Joe. I'm ready. Better believe I'm ready. If you can believe it, I made this weapon somewhat recently as well. When I say somewhat recently, I mean before, or rather after, I had transferred my save over. This is the thing. There's a lot of stuff that I actually did to clean up this save once I carried it over. Because your save is left in this limbo mode while you're trying to get everything, what do you call it? When you're trying to get everything through guild quests. Oh, this motherfucker is Apex, excuse me. Fuck, I thought it was Frenzied. It's a fucking Apex Devil Joe that we've just decided to two-man. Oh my god. I do not have an element stone. Shit. So I don't think my element's going to go through. Am I correct in saying that? I'm fucking correct in saying that. God damn it, I'm fighting an Apex Devil Joe without an element stone. This is some absolute garbage. Has this guy disconnected? He's fucking disconnected. Is it me? If it's me, oh thank god it's not me for a change. I don't know if the guy saw the Apex Devil Joe and was like, I'm not doing this shit. Or if he genuinely disconnected. But, yeah. Oh, shut up. Has there been a connection issue? Well, there was some sort of connection issue because I've now disconnected from the Citra online session, but the stream seems unaffected by that, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Oh, for the love of God. What's the damn password? These are all passworded online sessions. I apologise for how loud the system sounds are, by the way. I have to get the damn password again. Oh, downtime. It is the first recording that I'm doing of this game, so it's fine if there's a little bit of downtime. I don't know who disconnected, but we're both back in the session. We'll just need to make a new hall, and then we should be able to connect with each other. I will return to local play, which disconnects me from this current session, and then I'll create a new hall. Okay. There's nothing wrong with using bad language in this server, in case you wanted to know. What's that cat version? Well, sorry, Frenzied. Frenzied. It said Outbreak, but I thought it was Frenzied. In having edited that, I've been told again to watch my language. Sorry. Fuck. I've never seen anyone had action taken against them on account of the language that they've used on that server, so I'm not too concerned. I've definitely had live streams where there has been more downtime than this, but this is still not all that good. It's not quite what I'm looking for. I don't know why a disconnect took place there. It seemed to be unrelated to my internet, because my stream wasn't affected in any way. Just added an extra syllable unnecessarily. But yeah. That was your opportunity to see an Apex monster, but it looks like you really didn't get much of an opportunity. As far as how to change your Y-stones, you have to go to Dundorma, to the Commons. Looks like our friend has just rejoined the room. And you have to go to this person here. I think it's the research assistant, is it? Yeah. Haven't done this in so long. Select Y-stones, and at least you can see what I'm selecting on the top screen still. Drive and element. I can show you my options here. Basically, Force gives you increased damage against frenzied and Apex monsters, but Element allows you to deal elemental damage to Apex monsters. If you don't have an elemental stone active, you can't deal elemental damage at all to an Apex. Drive causes you to bounce on a lot of an Apex monster. You can still hit an Apex monster without a drive stone, but only very specific parts of the monster that happen to be soft. Most of the monster will be so tough that you need the drive stone to be able to hit it reliably. And of course it's like this mode that's based on a damage threshold or a health threshold, depending on how you want to phrase it. Once that threshold has been reached, the monster will leave Apex mode and will basically be a normal hunt. And I think that's on a timer. I don't think that's health related as far as when they return to Apex mode. I think it's on a timer, something like 3 minutes. The fight will be conducted as normal once Apex mode has been broken out of. And yeah, I mean, I'm going based on assumption, vague memory, and pure guesswork, because I just don't play much of this game anymore. But that's about to change, as I said. I will be playing more for Ultimate, because I can now record it comfortably, and I'm enjoying myself here, so I'll give myself the Element Stone, just in case we do it again. Hold on. I'm being admonished for humouring this brainless individual. I know he feeds off attention, but I don't really have much else going for me at this point. Apparently something else is going to be posted, but, you know. Anyway. Maybe Umbrix is watching live, I'm not sure. If he is, then so be it. Let's see what the next hunt is. It wouldn't be far-fetched to assume that he was watching live. There wouldn't be too many people recording for Ultimate at the moment. And if there's one community of people that would have their finger to the pulse of content creation for Ultimate, it would be the Anthena Discord, so it wouldn't be unusual at all. At this stage, I really only have time for one more hunt, so if we can get that done, that would be great. Unfortunately, it looks like Michaela has decided on a hunt, but might not tell me what the hunt is. So I'm going to have to wait for him to post it, and then I'll find out. Then I get to change weapons. In other words, it's a bit inefficient, but anyway. Patience is a virtue, everyone. That it is. What else can be discussed? We're currently in a place called Dundormer. I don't know if where I am right now appeared in DOS, because I didn't play enough of DOS to be able to determine that. But, at the very least, the location over here is absolutely from Monster Hunter DOS. It looked pretty similar to this in DOS. Just imagine this but a little bit less green, and that was the DOS village. That was the city mode of probably the least played Monster Hunter game in the series. I don't know how many people in Japan have played DOS. I actually don't know. I'm assuming it was reasonably popular, but I don't think PS2 Monster Hunter really took off in Japan at any point. It's because it was when Monster Hunter hit the PSP that everyone started playing it over there, so I think even in Japan, DOS is a bit of an unsung iteration. And quite frankly, it's Capcom's fault for not bringing it over here. Otherwise we'd be fucking playing it. And we would have played it at the time, but maybe not in such great numbers that it would be in any way profitable to translate it and release it. I don't know. I think it would have been reasonable to assume that DOS would have done better in the West than the first one. Looks like Kykler is rotating his, or cycling his food. As you do. He seems to be doing it in the high rank hall. I can show you the high rank hub. It's actually called the Gathering Hall, as opposed to the Elder Hall. This is where you conduct all non-G rank quests. It's more of a pub environment. A little bit more like traditional Monster Hunter, but with a weird camera perspective that actually changes as you move throughout the area. But you've got your low rank and high rank quest giver. And the guild master is wearing a hat, which is great. He's still rotating his damn quests. I think he was just shocked to find me here. He's like, oh god, I've been seen. Come on, man. I wish I had all the time in the world, but I don't. I've got like another 15 minutes before I have to do things with my life. Maybe 20 if I'm cutting it close, but yeah, this amount of downtime, I mean, if we don't include the fact that we did manage to get into a hunt, it's probably been about 25 to 30 minutes of us not hunting anything. I say that because in the end we managed to get into a hunt, but we didn't achieve anything in so doing. I like this guy's sword. Imagine that thing being swung at you. That's right, Tech. You know, the Monster Hunter community isn't anything to write home about. The only time it's been decent has been Monster Hunter Tri, but even in Monster Hunter Tri, well, I shouldn't say that. I didn't experience the PS2 Monster Hunter community from back then, and I hear it was very good from people who played at that time. It may have been better than Tri, I'm not sure. But the Tri community was incredible, but even having said that, there were some fucking weirdos in the Tri community, like actual subhuman piles of garbage. So, yeah, I feel like the Monster Hunter community just attracts absolute, you know, energy leeching, disgusting fucking... Anyway, the point is that the community is not that great. And when it was at its best, it still wasn't that great, I guess, so... Why is Kaikla posting over there? What is he wanting to do a high rank quest? I really don't want to, personally, but... You know, I didn't just sit here for 30 minutes to do a hunt, and... Oh, he wants to do high rank Ukanless. Okay, fine. That'll be our last hunt, I guess. Stop the wheel. I can check to see if I have high rank Ukanless. I was asked if I had it. I'll have a bit of a gander. I do. I don't mind doing Ukanless. I can live with it. Why is the Discord capture not coming up? Hello? Don't fucking capture the same screen. What are you up to? What are you doing? Cease with this crap, thank you. A swift response at this stage would be desirable. Regardless, fire is appropriate for both Shagaru and Ukanlos, so I'm going to change weapons. And I'm going to post Ukanlos in-game, and he can join it if he wants to. I think I would rather do Ukanlos than Shagaru at this stage. I don't know why. I'm just in an Ukanlos mood. And I will use bow for this. I'll go Pierce, Fire, Bow. Whatever that ends up being. The reason why it says a Cantor bow and it's dealing water damage is because this is actually a relic. It's a really good relic that I happen to have for Water Pierce. Anyway. What is my Water Pierce bow? I do happen to have my text file up for it. Pierce Water is... excuse me, Pierce Fire is what I meant to say. It is the Uranus Herald. Wherever that might be. There it is. That is my Pierce Fire bow. And what a set this is. Oh yeah, the really broken set that I was talking about is... this one here. This is fucked up. Anyway. I've got a few really good sets, but that's a very nice one. And it's not weapon dependent, by the way. Weapon dependent sets are almost like cheating, unless you're using a bowgun, as far as I'm concerned. Looks like Kaikla is ready for Ukanlos. Good. Because I'm ready. Glacial Grinder. The reason why he didn't have it is because it is an advanced quest, which means that it won't always appear. Do you shoot power coating? You sure do. But I will eat first, seeing as though I'm here. I realise that you can't see the food that I'm selecting, but... these are the sacrifices that you make in being able to see the game in a much more presentable fashion. Okay. I'll go and purchase power coatings and we'll get going. Last hunt of the recording. I would have liked to have, you know, had a larger group for this recording, and I would have liked to also have less downtime, or have had less downtime, but yeah. Sometimes you just gotta take what you're given, especially in a small community like this. I'm just lucky to be able to record live with a person who's hunting at least semi-consistently. Let's watch the whole cutscene. This is very similar to the portable third fight. That's a cool intro. Very intimidating. That's why they call him a flying wyvern. Because he does a lot of jumping. Sorry, I'm not skipping this. No! Why do I take the time to fucking organize hunts only for you to disconnect? Christ on a bike. I can't believe it. I'm so annoyed. Why are you disconnecting? It's not me. I know it's not me. Fuck. I have to return to... I mean, you can't really see what I'm doing here again, but... I'm making a new haul. I don't have the I actually don't have the time. I almost don't have the time available to just get another hunt organized. Made a new haul. Fucking shit. If it happens once, it's annoying. Twice? Really annoying. 3 times? I'm ready to fucking spew. As they say in Australia. For God's sake. This is some garbage. Am I a fan of seeing my character every Monster Hunter intro? Or every monster intro? Yeah, I don't mind it. I think as long as you're not wearing some super ugly thing, it's actually kind of nice, but... most of my sets are really unappealing, so... I mean, I suppose I would be a candidate for not liking that change made to Monster Hunter games, but... I think it's fine. Because, yeah, before this point, all monster intros didn't involve the hunter. You just saw some kind of cinematic that was entirely focused on the monster. Let's try that again. I've got time if he gets straight back into the hunt, but I'm concerned that I don't have it anymore. I fortunately still have it. He's checking to see if he has it, because he thought that I might not have it anymore. I'm lucky enough to have received it twice in the list. I will actually consume a voucher for this one. Not that you can really see everything of what's going on, but I think you can live with it. Just sharing the top screen is better. You saw most of that cutscene, so I'll just skip it this time. I could have actually caused the disconnect for him by forcing him to sit through the cutscene, because that can be problematic with emulation. Watching cutscenes on the emulator doesn't always work that well, unfortunately. So I will skip this time. So as I said, everything of what you see here is very similar to Portable Third. There's no drastic difference. The monster looks the same, the area is the same, and quite frankly the monster does the same stuff. Especially in the high rank version. I don't know if he has any additional attacks in G rank, but I don't remember any. You can maybe stop now. I do have power shot on this bow. It's good to know. Do I have... no. Don't have anything that would assist in my stamina consumption. God, you made a good turn. Okay, he doesn't turn that well in Portable Third. That's one thing that has changed. He started swimming in one direction and then he completely turned to face me. Which is not something that you can expect from the Portable Third fight, I will admit. Where art thou? There you are. You're doing a laser. Here we go saying laser again. You're doing an ice beam. No laser involved, actually. In case you weren't aware. Oh, God. I did make an attempt to do a power shot. My hope is that it didn't go through, because that would have been a waste of a coating. When I say go through, I mean use up the arrow and the coating, but not actually have it leave the bow, if you understand what I mean, because I was interrupted there. My guess is that if it does consume a coating, the arrow must have left the bow, and therefore must hit the monster. I'm assuming that's how it works. I'm keeping away from this. At least you're getting a front row seat to the comments made by the felines as we play. Ugh. I was a bit worried that I'd get caught there. Fortunately, I was not. Hey, Beta. Welcome to the first 4 Ultimate recording that I'm doing live, ever. Glad you made it in. Usually when I'm recording for Ultimate, it's in the Random Hunt series, which is much less intimate. Because it's something that's already been recorded and you can't communicate with me while live, and I'm not communicating with an audience while the recording is taking place, which means that there's none of that taking place when watching the VOD. Oh God. Well, I should have expected that, huh? I'm going to get out of the way. Oh no. I'm already running low on coatings. I could have brought combination materials for them, but I chose not to in the end. You start to get a sense for just how much Capcom has repeated stuff when I can hunt this same monster in Freedom Unite, Portable Third, 4 Ultimate and Generations Ultimate, and have it be about the exact same fight. Like, basically unchanged, and yeah, you start to get a sense for just how much Capcom has reused this stuff. You can call it, oh, Capcom is bringing the monster into the new generation so that people can experience it new and fresh. No, it's not. It's not that. It's Capcom being a bunch of lazy fucks, and they are fortunate enough to actually have a community that wants that. They're fucking lucky, I'll tell you. Most game developers would be hurting to come up with new monsters, but they've got a community that actually wants them to bring this shit back. Luckiest game developers ever. Anyway. The point is that people want monsters to return so that they can experience them in the new games, but what if the monster hasn't fucking changed since Freedom Unite? This fight is only slightly different from its first appearance in Freedom Unite, so is it worth it? You know, maybe have him return for 2 games. Well, I should say appear once and then return once, but to have him in so many games, why? Stop doing this thing. Just find an equivalent. It doesn't have to be super different, but just have an equivalent to him that's different enough to at least make it feel like we're hunting something new, instead of literally the exact same fight. They're giving people every reason to not return to the older games. You play the older Monster Hunter games and say, oh, I'm fighting the exact same thing as what I fought in the new games. Okay. I apologise for going on this rant, but I actually don't apologise. I apologise insincerely. Because I actually, as much as I don't really want to get on rants that aren't all that exciting, and I've talked about this before, which is why it's not exciting, I do strongly believe that Monster Hunter is better when you've got new monsters for every major generation. It's fine to have the same monsters return within the same generation, I can live with that, but once you've changed generations, it's time to move on. Seriously, give people a reason to return to the older games. You can always enjoy those monsters by going back. And going back is not necessarily experiencing a worse Monster Hunter version. In many cases, it's actually experiencing a better one, because in some respects, Monster Hunter has devolved over time. So, really, if Capcom could just get a grip, that'd be nice. And I do intimately understand the temptation to fight a monster you're familiar with, but in a new game. I understand that. There's comfort in familiarity, but if they just make good monsters, then you don't really need to even want that. You can just enjoy the new monsters, and if you want to enjoy the old ones, go and play the old game that you've put all this time into, and that you probably seek to legitimize the time that you've spent in the past by playing the game even now. Which was a sentence that was phrased slightly incorrectly, but my point is that returning to an old game is, oh, for the fucking love of God. Is the stream fine? Yes, the stream is fine. Okay, that's alright. Apparently I'm disconnecting from Citra and I don't know why. But, yeah, it's unrelated to the live stream, which is what's important. My hope is that this monster is not too far away from death. I will give it another 4 minutes. After 4 minutes I have to stop, because I'm out of time. I'm actually out of time, so... These sorts of difficulties are one of the reasons why I haven't played as much for Ultimate, but yeah. My hope is that he's not too far from death. I mean, this is high rank, but he's still a very strong monster, so my hope is that this guy has been able to deal lots of damage. If he doesn't die within the next 4 minutes, then that's it. Even though I would be much closer to killing him within 4 minutes from now, I actually can't continue for more than that. Genuinely 100% cannot continue beyond that point. Running low on healing wares though, and this is a high rank. Ukarlos is one of the monsters that I actually hunted for an older Random Hunts recording in this game. So I've definitely done Ukarlos on camera before, but probably not for the benefit of any person who watches me now. What I just did there is basically how you get past his charging attack. You send him in one direction. There is basically a certain point in his animation where he stops making major changes to his position And if you send him in that direction, then towards the end of it you turn in a different direction, you can actually get around him. I don't know if that was comprehensive or helpful, what I just said, but as long as you understand what I meant, that's what's important. I don't know if my cat's doing anything, but I've got 2 minutes to kill this thing. And then I'm abandoning. If I can get it done, then happy days. Still caught me. I suffer from the disadvantage of him being really big. Okay, you go and do that again. Fine. Waste my time a little more. He's going for my cat. Thank God for that. Which rhymes, incidentally. I do not have the stamina for this. I have to nullberry. I shouldn't have done it. It's just gonna hit me. Okay. Unless I can kill him in the next few hits, that's it for this hunt. He's probably not that far from death, but I just don't have the time, unfortunately. Sorry, everyone. If the disconnect didn't take place, it wouldn't have been an issue. I don't know why we're disconnecting from each other. There seems to be a problem with Citra because I am actually disconnecting from the hall. It seems that I'm the one disconnecting, but I can see that it's not related to my internet because the stream's not being affected. So, I don't really understand it. I hope that that ended up being a decent enough recording for Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate as my first recording. I will be doing more for Ultimate, absolutely, without a doubt. My hope is that I won't be suffering from this sort of instability when I record in the future. I'm hoping this is just a one-off, some sort of inexplicable one-off situation where I'm disconnecting frequently. Despite the fact that I'm only hunting with one person, as I said, things start to get a little bit weird when you've got 4 people, then you can get someone disconnecting, like usually one of those 4 people will disconnect, because more instability is introduced into the frame of the situation by way of the fact that there are 4 people. But yeah, with 2 people getting disconnects this frequently, that's not very encouraging for the future, but we'll see how things go in the future. For the moment, I can tell you that I'm done. And I thank you all for watching, and I bid you all farewell for now, and I will see you next time I'm recording Monster Hunter. It may very well be for Ultimate next time. I'm thinking that the 2 games that I will focus on recording the most at the moment will be Freedom 1 and 4 Ultimate, which are almost at 2 different ends of a spectrum. But the reason why I would like to focus on those 2 games is because Freedom 1 and 4 Ultimate are the games that I've recorded the least on this channel. That is assuming we don't include Freedom 2 in that list. But I will bid you all farewell for now. Bye bye.